Hello, class. How you doing? Hope everybody's good out there. It's little Tommy from northeastern Ohio coming at you. Little Tommy from the Rust Belt. Homeskoolin number 62. How's it going? A little mid-70s cop show music for you. Detective TV shows. That's what I was picturing when I was playing that. Driving around in a leisure suit in a 75 Ford LTD. Yeah, I'll show you that loop in a minute. But hope everybody's good out there. Thanks for the kind words about the Night Owl show I put up last night. I was out late, up late because the wife and kids have been gone for a while, and they took a little vacation out to Sun Valley, Idaho, and they're coming back tonight, so I'm very excited. Can't wait to see them. So I was going to tell you that because I didn't want you to think that I was out in the garage at 2 in the morning playing real loud with the kids sleeping, you know. I wouldn't do that. I'm a considerate fellow. That brings up a question from the VCB. A guy said, well, I've had this question a lot of times. Hey Tom, how loud are you playing out there in the garage? You know, it's not real loud. It's about like where you'd play like a real small club gig volume, you know, like if you're playing in a real small club, you know. I got the old Fender 212 cab here with the, see that, cream? An old pro reverb on about three or four. And that's it. You know, if you play too loud, I remember some of my old videos, I was playing a bit louder back in those days, and what happens with the iPhone is that if you got the real loud music, the compressor on the iPhone turns on, and then if I started talking, it was real quiet and you couldn't hear me. You guys remember those days? It takes a minute for the phone compressor to adjust, apparently. But I don't know. Just keep it, I don't want to hurt my ears either. I don't want to play real loud. I'm already half deaf anyway. We got some good stuff in the VCB, man. You're gonna love this one. All right, 2 comments back to back on the telly video that I put up. Remember the one where I was playing that yellow telly, the smuggler? This is 2 comments right in a row, back to back from different guys. The first one said, hey Tom, that intro is one of the best intros YouTube has ever seen. Thank you for that. Very cool. I doubt that very much, but it's very sweet of you to say. The second one said, I hate to be a negative Ned Ryerson, but that Telecaster is very lacking in inspiration and tone. I can tell you're not digging it either. There, I said it. Well, that just goes to show you how different people are. I mean, that's what's always amazed me about music and all that. Like when it comes to gear, you know, like one man's trash is another man's treasure. I think that's what makes the world go around, you know, it's just such, you know, widely varying opinions about what's cool and what's not, you know. It's okay, Ned. I'm not taking that personally. You know, I remember that Strat Fury video I did a long time ago where I was blazing on that white Strat. I remember one guy said he just absolutely hates the sound of a Stratocaster, no matter who's playing it. That's kind of a weird place to be in. I mean, who hates the sound of a Stratocaster? All right, what else we got? Here's another one. Hey Tom, I have never seen you play a Taylor or a PRS guitar. Any reason? I think one of your classmates is apparently not doing his homework. You better talk to that guy. Another one. Hey Tom, do you have a huge closet for your t-shirts? Oh man, you should see how many t-shirts have poured in from you sweet viewers. Speaking of t-shirts, here's a cool one from my friend Dirk. He sent this. The Evolution of Man. But yeah, man, they're piling up t-shirts. Thanks for sending them, you guys. It's very cool. But yeah, that's all I'll ever wear is t-shirts, you know. The wife doesn't seem to care. She doesn't care. Let's see what else. Another guy said, being an amp guru such as yourself, I'm definitely not a guru. Thanks for saying that though, but I'm not. What are your thoughts about Dumbles? Yeah, you know, like, man, I like the sound of, man, you know, I was in a band one time with Rick Vito. You guys know him? Legendary guitar player. Played with Fleetwood Mac. he played the amazing slide solos on Like a Rock by Bob Seger, and he played the one on Tender as a Night by Jackson Browne. Rick's a great player. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I love his playing, and I know he played that on a Les Paul Jr. through a Dumble, so that's a good sound right there. But in terms of my thing with Dumbles, I would never personally pay that much for any amp. I just don't believe that any amp is worth that kind of money personally. I think guitars are. But no amp in the world, unless it was like the first Marshall ever made or something, could bring that kind of money, in my humble opinion. Same thing with those train wrecks and all this. I have no interest in ever going down that rabbit hole personally. But that's just me. I'm not dogging them. I know they have their place in music. It's just not my thing. Another guy said, "Hey Tom, your pinky is amazing." I've had tons of comments talking about how I use my pinky. Now, I don't get that, because thank you for saying that. And yes, I am very, very active in this, but I just don't understand how anybody could play a guitar without using your pinky. I mean, that is your stretch. Who plays just with 3 fingers? I mean, this thing is a valuable weapon, you know? I mean, I got from A to E there, you know? So, but man, I could do a whole solo with the pinky. I mean, to me, it's probably one of the most important fingers, you know, because that's where you get all your cool extensions and all that. So use your pinky, kids. Totally unrelated, but here's a cool old Steve Howe on the cover of an old Guitar Player magazine my friend Bubba sent me. I have a guru. His name is Bub Sarley. This is from 1978. He taught me everything I ever knew about vintage guitars and amps when I was a kid. I've mentioned him before on the show. How you doing, Bub? Miss you, man. And Robert Baker sent me this. I haven't tried it yet, but this cool Dan Electro fuzz pedal. Overdrive. Thanks, Robert. Very cool. I'm going to try that today. And on somebody's recommendation over there, I bought a $80 Ibanez Weeping Demon wah, because I remember I was complaining how I can't find a wah I like. Plugged it in today. It's a no-go, guys. That's a no-go. But thanks for the recommendation. Okay, it's getting crazy long here. So I got a couple loops to show you. If anybody has, a lot of people wanted me to show you the riff from last night and also the one previous, today and the one last night. So today's, I'll start with that. It's just basically just D minor. So I was just going, using that thumb to play the bass note. B flat major, A major, A flat, G. That's a weird voicing. It's 3 notes. Root 5th octave. Root 3rd octave. But when those chords are happening, when you're walking down, you can just still, for some reason, just staying in D minor, playing pentatonic works. You don't have to really follow those chords. It sounds weird if you actually try to follow the chords. I don't know. Send that one off to the lab, you technical geniuses out there. And then yesterday's loop was one of my more creative chordal situations. It was like this. Which is like think of it as an F sharp minor, all over the key of A. Then I put a high E on top. You can think of that as an A6 chord. And then A11, which is just a G major over A. And then I went like this. Check that out. So that's E in the bass. I'm doing a D sus on top to an A7. This G note on the D string stays on both chords. So. And the only way to make that happen is to play with all 5 fingers down here. Bass note with the thumb, and then the 4-note chords with the. That can be tricky if you don't do the claw to get the touch on those right, because you can't. There's no way to strum that. You have to play that. And then I went. Here's where it gets wacky. So I went to C major 7. B minor 7. B flat major 7. A minor 7. E flat major 7 to D sus. Take that, Donald Fagen. So yeah. Kidding. Donald Fagen is a genius. I'm totally kidding. Don't take that out of context. Which sets up nicely into back to the A. Here's my old 64 SG that I've had for years. One of my favorites, this guitar. Magic. Total magic. I've had a million SGs in my life, and this is the one. Not a million. I always say a million. I know it makes people mad. I over-exaggerate. So yeah, I think that's enough damage for today. Thanks for watching the show, everybody, and thanks for the continuing donations and all that. You guys are awesome. Thanks for reaching out to Brother Bill. I think that's it. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Have a good weekend, guys.